Alright, let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hazard Podcast. Rated 2.5 billion stars on your mom's cooch. Anyway. Yeah, last week I didn't upload anything. Sorry about that, but, troubles, man. What are we doing today? Okay. So, we're streaming today. We didn't stream last time. Tyson's not here because he's out for the whole week. I'm okay with that. So, my whole situation is being sorted out as we speak of. When I made the tweet about me not being able to upload, me taking a break, I was going through some shit. You might have been able to tell with my last couple uploads, my head wasn't really in the right place. But I'm working through that, and I'm working with my family to try and get through all that. And I did have the time to make a podcast today. It is Saturday, so we're on time, at least. And it is also ANZAC Day, which is cool. I have a different backdrop today, which I'll get to later. But my situation, so as we all might know, quarantine happened, coronavirus, shit like that. You know, the bad word. But you'd think, especially for someone like me, I'm not the most social of people. I have a very particular friend group that I just talk to. Situation, I guess it just took its toll. It really did. It was the same people you've been talking to pretty much your whole life. It really takes a toll on your mindset, and it took a toll on my mindset, so especially added on, we were just given out of nowhere this whole new school system out of the blue. Like, the day I just heard about it, and I just had to learn everything as quick as I could. It was shit, and the of course the program the school allocated us it's just terrible. It's been hard, and the the way I am, especially when it comes to being confused, and that I'm not good with asking for help or talking about my problems. I've had problems with that for a very long time, and I've gone through depression because of this. I have anxiety, which I've had since I was a fucking toddler, but that's really out of my control. I've just been I just deal with that. And I do have outlets. I do play, guitar and that, and I love music more than anything. But in this situation, everything was just getting on me so fast, and all the pressure was kind of ruining my mental health. And I wasn't talking to my family about it. I wasn't talking to anyone. I was just not doing anything. So it affected me badly. And I'm just trying to work through this. I've, told my family and that, and we're working through this. But now I just have a pile of work from school and shit that I have to work on, which is gonna add some pressure, but at least I'm being helped by my family to get through this. And, yeah. So, back on my backdrop, we have BO3. Came out, 2015? Now, you see, when this game came out, I did not really care about the multiplayer or the campaign and that. I cared about the zombies. You didn't understand. Like, Call of Duty is mediocre to me, but zombies? Holy shit. I play the fuck out of zombies. I love zombies. I used to play zombies. I probably played it when I was 8. I played World at War. Well, the first map I ever played was Moon with my brother on Black Ops 1. And I remember we tried to do the Easter egg. I probably made it to about round 3, and I wouldn't stop counting. I didn't know what I was doing. But once I got into the flow, I would spam BO1. Like, Australian internet is some of the worst internet you'll ever find. So, I could never really find a lobby on BO1. So, I would just go on zombies the whole time. And if I played with my brother or not, it wasn't really my concern. I just wanted to play zombies, and it was so good. Because he got all the maps. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he had all of the maps. I'm pretty sure he was missing Shang, but he got it eventually. I remember hating Shang. Shangri-La is just... you'd think it's open, you know, it's... You'd think it's open, but, no. It's so tight. It's such a tight experience. But, yeah. I would play BO1 over and over and over and over again. And then, one of my friends had a PS3 and they had World at War. So then I started playing the shit out of World at War. And I started utilizing how, like, all my experience from how in BO1 you get all these shit weapons and zombies would rapid swipe you and shit. And then I took that over to World at War, where if you just keep moving, they can't hit you. So I would just keep training them in like Nocturne and Doris. And I'd have like a Thompson or something and just shoot the shit out of them. And it was great. I loved it. I loved it so much. And, you know, I'm a classic man. Like, I'm a speed cola double tap. Speed cola double tap. Jug. And quick revive on solos. Because quick revive, if quick revive isn't on solos, it's absolute shit. Quick revive on multiplayer is absolute shit. When I'm playing BO1, I'm usually going for electric cherry, jug, speed cola, not double tap, because double tap pre BO3 is complete dog shit. It just makes you lose ammo quickly. I mean, if you're at the start of like a couple if you're at the starting rounds of a couple matches, it's a good point perk, but after that you're just wasting ammo way too quickly, and it's just absolutely terrible. But my class for BO1, BO2 would have been stamina, jug, speed cola, electric cherry, and you got that. You get that perk set up, you're pretty much good. Because Stamina's probably one of my favourite. Like, Jug is obviously objectively the best. Because Juggernaut is fucking... what? It gives you 2 more hit points until you die. So it's so good. But Stamina just makes training an absolute breeze. Like, if I'm playing in a camp, I'm not going to use Stamina. I might use Mule Kick if I want to have multiple weapons, you know. But, because, like, if I'm camping, I'll probably want an MG and then 2 other weapons of my choosing. But when it comes to training and that, Stamina up all the way. And especially on, oh my god, Origins. And, yeah, especially on Origins because of the mud. But, when BO3 came out, I was pretty young still. But I got it. And then I had to wait like a year. And then I got the Chronicles pack. And if you don't know what Zombies Chronicles is, it's essentially the best DLC for any game ever. It essentially had all of the... It had all of the Black Ops 1 maps. And then it had all of the Black Ops 1 maps and all of the World at War maps except for Doris, because the giant. And then it had Origins, which is probably one of the best maps in BO2 Zombies. And I just played the shit out of it. And then I got all the rest of the maps. I got... What were the maps' names? I got the Giant, which is the Doris remake, or the reboot. I got... Fuck, what were the other ones? I got... Der Eisendrache. I got Der Eisendrache. which is probably the best BO3 map, like original map, in my opinion. What else was there? There was Revelations, which was kind of icky, kind of ouchy, you know, kind of, if you know what I mean. Then you had Zetsubo, which was which made me want to kill myself. Oh, you had Shadows of Evil. I remember before I got the DLC, I played the shit out of Shadows. It was a bitch to set up, and when you died, you didn't want to play ever again. But that was such a beautiful map. And the Mogwars were goddamn terrifying. The Mogwars scared the shit out of me. Because it's like Brutus from Mob of the Dead times 12. It's, yeah, but I don't know. I found BO3 in my catalog not too long ago, like in my box full of games not too long ago, and I just played it again. So good, man. I don't have PS3 anymore. We got rid of that. Although there is one thing that I believe we have, and that is a Nintendo. My dad's Nintendo that he had, and I've been looking for that because if it's got Mario Kart, I want to kick my dad's ass in Mario Kart. Because you challenge me on Mario Kart, I will destroy you. I will obliterate you. Anyway, back to Black Ops. Zombies. Honestly, people will definitely disagree with me, but BO2 was the black sheep. BO2 had the two maps that were probably the best maps ever. You know? But it had so many shit maps as well. It had Nuketown, which we just didn't need. It wasn't necessary. It was a fun map, but it wasn't necessary. We had Transit, which is utter dog shit. Transit's fun, but the fog just ruins the whole experience. Like, and also the Wonder Weapon, which is dog shit. And then there's Dire Eyes, which is the single worst map ever created in human history. It's tight corners and falling off ledges every 3 seconds, and I hate every single second of it. But then you have Mob of the Dead, which, in my personal opinion, is probably the best zombies map ever created. And then you have Origins, which is really good. It also has the Panzer, which is almost as scary as the Magua to me. It's stronger, and it'll probably kill you more than the Magua, but the Magua was terrifying. The Panzer is an arsehole. The Panzer is an arsehole. But in BO3, it was even more of an arsehole. But Mob of the Dead was so good. Mob of the Dead was amazing. It had Brutus. It had all the had him deactivating the perks. It had the Golden Gate Bridge, which was really cool. One of the best training areas. It had the Uzi, the mini Uzi. Still an underrated weapon. And just so many amazing memories from that. Going to my friend's place and playing that all the time. Yeah. Also, a very unrecognized classic is 5. 5 was so good. 5 was a secret map that you could get. Well, technically Zombies was a secret thing, I guess. I don't know. But 5 was one of the 2 free maps that you could get, non-DLC maps, and it was so good. You had the Pentagon Thief. I wish we could see the Pentagon Thief more often because he was really fun. Like, he'd take your weapons and you have to shoot him. It brought some really good challenge to an already extremely challenging map. And the sole reason for 5 to be challenging was probably the Wonder Weapon, which was piss poor. That was the Winter's Howl. They improved it in BO4, but still, piss poor weapon. Speaking of BO4, that was the hugest disappointment ever. Because they ruined my favorite map. They ruined Mob of the Dead with Blood of the Dead, making it kind of shit. They did pretty good with 5. what was it called? Classified. Classified was good. Like, probably one of the best maps on that game, but it could have had the Pentagon Thief. Had some really cool Easter eggs, though. And then it had... What else did it have? Had the Chaos series, which was a series. We had, the Chaos storyline was kind of shit, in my opinion. The Ether storyline is the only one I'm ever really interested in. The Chaos, what was it? We had Voyage of Despair, which was dog shit. We had 9, which was pretty good. 9 was pretty good. I'll give it that. It was fun. We had, what was that mansion place? See, the maps are so forgettable. The one with the Nosferatus, that was dog shit. And then you had, Ancient Evil. Ancient Evil was pretty good, but still, I don't ever play it, and don't plan to ever play it. Then you had, what else did we have? What was it called? That, fuck, I can't think of its name. The map with all the ice. The map that had, fuck. I can't think of the name. Something on Toten. Tag der Toten, which was a remake of Call of the Dead from BR1. Yeah, Tag der Toten. Tag der Toten was beautiful. It was a very good map, but it still just didn't. It didn't stand up, you know. And there was a lot of parts of BO4 that just wasn't good. Like, the perk system was terrible. It didn't make any sense. It was a bit too complicated. The Pack-a-Punch system was awful. The Pack-a-Punch system made me want to kill myself. The Pack-a-Punch system, essentially, you had to pack your gun 5 times for the full effect of Pack-a-Punch. And the Pack-a-Punch acted like the box as well, because it would move every 5 fucking seconds. It was so annoying. And then you had Golden Pack-a-Punches, which is essentially what Pack-a-Punch should be, and has always been. But I guess no to that. Thanks, Vondi. Vondi hard. Yeah, BO4 was very disappointing. The story was... It was a very good continuation of the story, and it ended the story pretty well. But it just was too disappointing. It wasn't good enough. But then you have something like Black Ops 3, where pretty much every map was really good in its own respect, maybe apart from Zetspo. But then the ending map was kind of boring, kind of disappointing. Revelations with that really fucked up Easter egg. Yeah. Zombies has been very integral to my life, and I've loved it for such a long time. So, yeah. I'm hoping, so, off the topic of BO1, I'm hoping that my quality is sounding better, because I recently got my new equipment, which I ordered on the 18th of March. I ordered it like over a month ago. And it was essentially just a pop filter, just some stuff to improve my microphone. I'm hoping it works, but it took so long. It took so long, and it pissed me off. But it came finally, and I'm happy with the results of it. It's done its job, so I'm just wondering how it'll turn out here. Like, it's essentially just a pop filter, and if I want the quality to get terrible, warning, the audio might cut out entirely. I don't really care. Yeah, like dick and balls and cock, and maybe dick too, and maybe balls and cock and penis too, and maybe dick. Huh? I have no idea how that sounded because I'm not checking. I'm looking at an iPad with my notes on it. But yeah, the equipment came in, and I'm very happy with it. And last time it was essentially me duct taping my microphone to a like movable, like a portable tripod, like those tiny ones, and then clipping that onto a stock that I had just laying around for sheet music. And now that's turned into me screwing a hole through something and putting something through something, making it stick, like bolt on, like screw onto the mic, screw onto the stand that I have, and this makes it go sideways. So I have a sideways mic. Lamau, laugh, very funny, very goofy, funny moment. Can we get 5 million likes, please? I'll suck your wee wee. Anyway, yeah, the new equipment came in. Wasn't as expensive as I expected. It was a pretty good deal. Speaking of expensive things, the Porsche incident. Now, this came out not too long ago, and it is terrible. So we're gonna just be a little more serious on this one. But I still think it's necessary that we talk about this, as this is... I think we could all learn something from this. If I can pull up the news... If I can pull up the news outlet that I got this from, it's extremely graphic warning to people. It's really horrific what happened. Now, from what we know... Alright. It was on the Eastern Freeway of Melbourne, I believe. It happened not too long ago. And essentially what had happened was Victoria State Police, 4 police officers that I do not have the names of, sadly. I will look for them eventually. But 4 policemen had stopped this Porsche driver, I believe, on the Eastern Freeway. Now, as they were stopping them, there was a truck with a man who was on ice. Now, to anyone who was thinking of driving under the influence, just don't. Just don't. Especially under the influence of severe drugs like ice. Don't even take them, because they'll ruin your life. And doing this will definitely ruin your life. So this man was under the influence of ice. He was driving his truck, and he just so happened to drive his truck straight into these 4 officers, killing them all. So they all died at the scene. And this Porsche driver, this fucking guy, this idiot, this complete dolt, this waste of space that we for some reason call a human, was going off his head at one of the officers, dying on the ground, begging for help. I'm looking for the direct quote, but he says something along the lines of, "I just wanted to go home and eat a sushi. Look what you've done to my cut." You know, screaming profanities, you know, at this woman on the ground, wounded, dying. Not giving a shit because his car got damaged. Absolute scum. To anyone who thinks that that is an okay thing to do, just fucking why? That's fucked. It's not correct to do. Police arrived at the scene. They all passed away, sadly. One of them was 28 years old and had been on the force for only 8 days, which was probably the worst part of this. It was not a good thing that happened, along the lines of what I'm trying to say. The man who was in the Porsche had been charged. I believe the truck driver is in critical condition at, I think, Sunshine Hospital, and he's under heavy supervision. The man in the Porsche was, I think, taken into custody. And they, a couple of vandals. Now, I'm not telling you to do this. This is not something that you should do. This does not solve anything. This doesn't resolve anything, and the police have even said this doesn't resolve anything. You're not making anything better by doing this. But people that vandalized their house, essentially the words "die" were just written blankly on their estate. And the wife of the man in the Porsche had frantically called the police about this, and has now been going on a tangent on why the police were too slow. So yeah, she's just as much as a scumbag as him. Now, I'm going to say this on my podcast because this is what the police would want as well. Do not try to incite violence on the people responsible for this. It was a really shitty thing that happened, and they are terrible people. But it doesn't solve anything. Violence does not solve violence. And violence does definitely not solve this. Okay? All we can do right now is grieve and just wish the best for the families of these victims. So yeah, my condolences go out to the victims of this, the families of the victims that have gone through this tragedy. Yeah. On the topic of officers, today was ANZAC Day. So yeah, let's get on a lighter note now. Let's try to ease up now. I'm very passionate about it. I've idolized the police for a very long time. My family have been police. My grandfather was actually in the military. He was in the Navy during the Vietnam War. My great uncle was the vice commissioner for the Victoria State Police Force, I believe. That's what I've been told by my family. But yeah, but my grandfather was was a radio technician for the Navy. And I did some research. And speaking of the Army, yeah, Anzac Day is today, and it's been interesting. I ended up missing the dawn service, sadly. My family decided not to wake me up, which I'm pissed about. But I stayed awake till like 1 o'clock for the stupidest reason. It's because Pink Floyd had a live show going on and I wanted to watch it. Bruh, why did I miss such a cool I know I shouldn't have went to sleep so late, but I did. But today was Anzac Day. We had tea. My nana came over. She popped by and said hi. We had a cup of tea, stuff like that, and like biscuits, shit like that. But yeah, it's been a pretty good day today, I would argue. My mum bought a shit ton of alcohol because there's a distillery in Melbourne that has decided to use what is it called? Well, the chemicals off of their beer that they've been using, and they're turning that into strong, essentially rubbing alcohol, and it's essentially they've turned it into a sanitizer. We've mixed it with aloe vera oil or something for just to make it a little less strong, because this is 65% ethanol. That's what it was. Yeah, they had spare ethanol, so it's like 65% ethanol. It's very strong. Oh god, sorry. But it does the trick. So yeah, we made some of that. We're making more, I guess. So Anzac Day's been pretty mellow for us. It's a very important day. I believe my dad talked to me about this. There's another podcast going on about the Anzac Day. It's commissioned by the War Memorial in Canberra, and it is about it's called Trapped. I think you guys should look at it. It's a pretty cool looking podcast. I'm gonna watch the first episode soon, but it looks really promising. My dad wanted to watch this. It's called Trapped, and it's about the Aussie military saving these Australian POWs in, I believe, a Japanese POW camp in the midst of World War II, and it's just talking about their rescue and that. And I believe the narrator for the podcast, his grandfather was one of the POWs, or was one of the rescuers. I don't know. I gotta look into it more. But yeah, it's called Trapped. I believe the podcast is on Spotify, if you want to watch it there. And it looks really good, so yeah, I'll be watching it. So, ANZAC Day. Now, speaking of wars, H3H3. I talked about H3H3 not too long ago because he was going off his head at the whole Leafy thing and going a little bit crazy, you know, in his podcast. Well, now he's kind of gone on again against Muda. Now, Muda, Some Ordinary Gamers is a YouTube channel, and actually a channel that I really enjoy. I watch his videos all the time. He's a great channel. You guys should really check it out. But he called out H3H3 Ethan Klein for talking shit about Jeff Bezos. Now, if you don't know Jeff Bezos, he's the lead. He's the main shareholder for Amazon, one of the biggest companies in the world, and I believe he is the richest man in the world. If I get that, if I'm correct about that, he is the richest man in the world. Now, in the whole Corona outbreak, he had given $1 million Australian, which probably sums up to US $600,000, I believe. And Ethan spoke about this on his podcast with Jack's Films and Comment Etiquette. Now, he was, you know, going on about saying, kind of bitchy, don't you think? You think it's kind of bitchy? Essentially donation shaming. And I believe Mudaha was talking about something separate, but it still stands. And in my opinion, this was donation shaming, so yeah. But he went off about that, and Muda talked about him donation shaming, and H3H3 came back to talk about it, you know, saying he's been slanderous, trying to dox him and shit. His points were, a lot of his points were correct, in saying, Muda made a bit of a mistake here, and Muda even apologized for this in his apology, but yeah, H3 was just going a little too far, and he was saying shit that, wasn't true. But what he was going off about was him trying to dox Ethan. Now, if people don't know, Ethan had to move out, and he had to move to a new house because some neo-Nazi guy tried to dox him. No, he didn't dox him. He tried to fucking swat him. Now, swatting, you'll probably know, is calling the police on someone's house, you know, for a fake report and that. So, he swatted his house, and that guy was actually arrested. But since that information was out, they kind of got paranoid, because they have a child, and they don't know what'll happen if shit went too far there. So, they ended up moving houses, and they've been trying so desperately hard to keep their house a secret, but, you know, these fucking websites love to get their information out without their permission. So, yeah, the information got out, which I do think is very scummy on these websites' part. But Muda was just giving information that was already in the public. He didn't know that Ethan didn't want this out. He didn't really look into the situation, and he didn't think he had to. And that's fair, you know? That isn't doxing Ethan. That's saying information that is already out there. He didn't give a specific house address. He just said, look it up, he moved houses. He's literally just trying to prove to us that he moved houses into a nicer house, for his point. And Ethan took this a little too far. So, yeah, Muda and H3 have gone back and forth. Now, Muda did apologize, and I believe, like, look, Muda's a very good person, so he is. He got a little cocky, and he admitted that he got a little cocky in this, and he says sorry for it. Now, the whole donation shaming thing, he's saying that, look, it's unjust for him to say it, but in my personal opinion, H3 donation shamed. He fucking did. If you look at his podcast, he literally did. Like, I don't think that was a genuine question, and his tone in the podcast on how he says, "Oh, is Jeff Bezos kind of a bitch for saying that?" That was donation shaming. Okay. It's but it's 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 not my problem. Yeah. How long have I been on this seat? My ass is really uncomfortable. You guys might not know this, but my booty kind of not feel good. Fuck, bruh. Yeah, I have no idea how long this is going on for. You like the intro music? I just picked random intro music for today. I might try and find one that I might stick with. Yeah. Okay, that was cool. If you like this was a 38-minute podcast. That's okay. You're okay with 38 minutes. You don't need to be a little baby about it. Come on, do better. Okay. Also, you know what? I'm not done yet. I want to continue on with this. I've been looking into web horror. Now, what are they called? Yeah, I'll just say web horror. I've been looking, like, web horror is essentially, Marble Hornets, Tribe 12, Everyman Hybrid, shit like that. It's essentially stories online that progress throughout different parts of the internet. Now, the one I watched quite recently was Tribe 12. Now, I've already watched all of these pretty recently, but I love doing it because it's fun, and I like horror. And web horror has just become one of my new favorite genres. And the one I looked at recently was Tribe 12, and that came out probably 2010, 2011. Noah something. Noah Maxwell. The whole. I'll give you a synopsis. So Noah Maxwell is this guy who owns his account, and his cousin committed suicide for reasons no one really knows. He was really stressed out, had some bad mental health problems. But he finds an old tape recorder with some old tapes that they had. So he decides to look at these tapes. And as the story progresses, whatever might have been going after his cousin is starting to go after him. So he's got a Twitter, Noah Maxwell, and then he's got Tribe 12, which is the YouTube channel. You have to look at both of these in chronological order. It's a little bit hard, but once you get into it, it's really good. So it was a very interesting thing to go through. But yeah. And then after that I ended up watching Everyman Hybrid. Everyman Hybrid and Tribe 12 are connected. Everyman Hybrid is essentially just a group of guys. I'll give you the synopsis for that as well, I guess. Everyman Hybrid is just they're a bunch of guys and they're planning to do fitness shit, But at the start they're doing pranks on Slenderman. Well, yeah, Slenderman. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the premise on this is like Slenderman shit, and I know Slenderman's a fucking dead meme. It's really shit. It's a really shit meme. But these web series, they actually do good on his part. He's not a walking meme in these. So Everyman Hybrid, they try to do a fake thing on Slenderman, and then they start getting stalked by him in real life. That's pretty cool, And it also shows there's Habit, which is a character, and the part where I'm up to has recently some really interesting information came out about the identity of Habit. So yeah, they're very good, and they're on YouTube. You can watch them whenever you want. It's so good. And also, I recommend, if you're not into, doing investigative journalism, just to watch a web series, look at the synopsis by Nightmind. He essentially talks about the whole thing. But yeah, it's very interesting web series horror, and I just love horror in general. I love watching old, like, I love watching Evil Dead. The Evil Dead's probably one of my favorite horror movies, if not my favorite horror movie ever. And Evil Dead 2 is probably even better than that. Evil Dead 2 is more of a horror comedy. Like, it's so goofy. I love them so much. Texas Chainsaw Massacre I love. I love Alien, the first Alien. I don't know. I think Aliens is a bit overrated, Alien 2. I liked the original Japanese Ring. But I think I liked the American one better. It seemed more creepy to me. And yeah. I'm big into horror. I like horror a lot. Unless it's Netflix horror, because Netflix horror is dog shit. Pretty much all the time. I remember there was a horror movie that I watched. It was more of a thriller, which was, what was it called? The Guest or something? It was just about this guy getting invited by his ex-wife to a dinner party. And hilarity ensues. Yeah. Horror movies. Horror movies are cool. Yeah, watch horror movies. Very cool. Very cool. I watch all the time. What else am I supposed to do? Like, it's surprisingly hard to find topics for a podcast. Who would have thought finding topics that can interest people for a podcast would be difficult? I don't know why that's a thing. I hate that. I hate being inconvenienced by just nuanced things. And I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for this clock to strike a time that I'm good with. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm kind of out of it. I got new headphones. Well, they're not new. They're my brother's headphones. Yeah. It's so hard. It's so hard to find topics, bro. I'm so mad. All I want to do is just talk about shit that interests me. And I can't do that because it's so hard. Oh, God. I wish I could be funny and entertaining like other people, but I can't, and it annoys me a lot. I'm so annoyed by that fact. I'm so annoyed. How long has this podcast been going on for? It's been going on for 8 episodes. I did not expect this podcast to go to any longer than like 5, and then I'd quit. I'm so happy with myself that I've actually been able to keep this going. And I really do want this podcast to keep going for as long as I possibly can. Because, like, I want to get guests on. I want to get, friends on. I want to actually get big off of this because I want this to be a thing that I do daily. Because if I'm with the right people, I can just talk about shit all day. And we can make it entertaining, and I love it. But it's just hard at the moment, It's hard for everyone, especially because, coronavirus. And it's also just, I don't know. I gotta get a job. I'm planning on getting a job soon. I'm hoping that's gonna work out for me. I just want to be able to set things up. I'm actually planning on, or me and my family are planning on trying to build a studio somewhere in the future, because I want to start making music professionally. Now, as I've said, I like music, I'll play you a lick right now, huh? How do you like that? Let's try and play something that is original, because I don't want to get copyright claimed. Surprising. You'd be surprised. I like not having my videos taken down, you know? As dog shit as they are. It's hard, man. Life is too hard. I'm trying to get this microphone down so that I can play the guitar. Oh, that noise was not cool. Ugh. I want to play House of the Rising Sun, but I'm afraid. Because I don't know if I'll get copy claimed. Penis and vagina. Oh, that was shit. But yeah, that's just a short lick that I came up with in like 10 seconds, and I want to do more shit like that, because I like shit like that. And holy shit, this is hard to do. You know what else is hard? Here we go. Okay, we're back to normal. But yeah, I'm planning on doing a studio so I can do shit like that. And if I can do that, I also want to be able to get something big enough so I can actually have like a table set up and do what the Misfits do. And they essentially just, or cold ones, you know? I'll have me and Tyson, because I want us to be co-hosts on the side, and then have, you know, a whole group of people, you know, with us, so we can make this a lot more entertaining. And, you know, when we get older, we'll start getting drunk during it, because I plan on getting absolutely wasted as soon as I can. Because whiskey is so good, man. I've got a couple friends in university, and they're big whiskey buffs. They like Irish whiskey. I've got a friend named Jameson, and he's a big fan of Irish whiskey. They made their own little thing on COD Modern Warfare and that, called Whiskey Clan. And I want to be part of Whiskey Clan. I've tried Jameson, you know. It's good. It's good shit, you know. It's rough, but it's good. It's tasty. Like, whiskey is something that I can drink, and it actually tastes good. Which I'm happy with. It smells good too. But yeah, I wanna turn this into something professional, and I hope that I can do that soon. Sorry. If you guys like this podcast, please leave a like. Please subscribe. I'm not gonna do outro music because I can't be fucked. I will see you in the next episode of the HazardCast. Please stay safe, stay home. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this.